Hey guys, let's talk about this Meross sensor that I got on Amazon. This one works pretty fine and I can solve my problem with the regular sensors. You see here, this one is a regular sensor with the PIR, but I have a problem here that the sensor doesn't work the way I want to, right? But with this one, you see that I have the PIR and also here a wave sensor that detects presence, and then I can work the way I want. All right. I'll just explain here the problem that I have, and then we come back here to the sensor. So basically here you see a member of my team here in the kitchen, and then when she's here, I don't want the light turns on when she's in this area here outside of the kitchen, right? Just when she's in the kitchen, I want the lights on. That's the idea. I was just testing here first. The sensor is not working yet in this situation because I was just testing the position. You see that I have the sensor here on the top. And then the idea is when she leaves the kitchen like this, then the lights is going to turn off. And when she comes back, the lights are going to turn on, right? And when she passes here, the lights are not affected by the sensor, right? So I just need to control the sensor, and I can control with the sensor like this, right? Later we come back to the solution. Let me just explain here about the sensor. So basically, as I was saying, PIR sensor and the wave sensor to detect presence. If somebody stays in a location, for example, for a long period of time, reading a book or something, the sensor knows the person is there and keeps the lights on. Right? And here on the back, you see that I can just use this part, just stick something here and just install the sensor whatever I want, or I can just bring this down like so. And I can also use the way to install the sensor. And there's a button here on the top to use the Bluetooth. And here I can use this label to read the QR code for the matter. I'm just covering here for privacy issues, but I can just use, let's say, Home Assistant or Google Home or the Apple Home app, okay, with the Matter protocol. So it works pretty fine. Here, for example, I have the sensor already working on my cell phone with the Meross app. I just need to come here and press the button, and then it's going to flash here, and you see that's working back there with my app, right? You see that's monitoring the presence right now, and there's some information here. There's logs, and I can just come here, for example, and check the device settings. Here I can see the name, the room, model number, firmware, etc. And here on settings, I can just change everything. Detection mode, for example. You see here that I have radar and PIR for presence. And then I can change the mode from radar with PIR assist or PIR with radar assist or radar only. So works pretty fine like this. Here on range and sensitivity, you see that I have a range from 0 to 4 meters. I can just change this the way I want. I just need to come here and select what I want. You see there's absence, presence, and block status. And then I can just use the auto adjust as well. So basically this one detects your motion in a location, for example, and auto adjust for you. It's pretty nice. You see that I have custom, low, medium. I can just select here and adjust accordingly. And take a look at this. Here you can see how it works. So that's pretty interesting because you can just install your sensor there and start looking at here to adjust. You see, when I stop moving here, there we go. See, that changes a lot, right? So basically it's going to detect here and be pretty accurate, so you can't just do whatever you want with your sensor. And here in configuration, for example, you see that I have sensor number 1 with the zones, so you can just select the zones. And the distance, you see that I have 0, 0.8, 1.6 meter, 2.4, etc., up to 6 meter. So for this zone, the sensor number 1, I have the range from 0 to 4 meters. The absence duration for 30 seconds and presence duration for 0. I can just change this. Let's say, for example, I want to change here to 5 seconds. I can just hit save. And now I have absence duration and presence duration. And for the sensor number 2, I can just use differently. I can use from 3.2 to 4 meters. That way I can have the sensor number 1 detecting one specific area and the sensor number 2 detecting another area. And I can do this for the sensor number 3 as well. And you see that I also can control the absence duration and the presence duration. You see that I have the sensor number 3 off and the number 2 and number 1 are on. Then let me just say save here and show you when I come here to an app, for example, the home app. Let me just find it here. There we go. And I come just right here on the home settings. I can see the sensor just down here. You see sensors, 2 of them, because I have both of them enabled there. If I enable the number 3, I'm gonna have the number 3 here as well. So you can also work with the Home Assistant and Google and detect your sensor here, right? Right. So it works super great. Back here to my example. Let me just bring another video with the problem that I have back there in the kitchen. So after the setup, I have it working like this. I just come here. You see when somebody's entering the room or the kitchen, the light turns on, right? Just observe that the light is off. Even when there's somebody moving here on this room, it doesn't turn on the lights. Only when somebody comes here and get to the perfect location, the sensor that's just right here detects the presence and turns the lights on, right? Super good. Even if the sensor is pointing here, I do the configuration to detect somebody just right here. And you see that works pretty fine, right? And she stays here in the kitchen doing whatever she wants. The sensor keeps the lights on. Even if she stays still here, it still is going to work, right? It works pretty fine. So back here to the sensor. That's the one that I recommend. You can just use this with battery. You see here that I can just open the case and insert the battery here. And this keeps working for a long period of time. And I have here as a rubber to seal also the sensor, so it's waterproof, right? It works pretty fine. Let's say you're on a location reading a book, for example, and you want to keep the lights on. You can do it with this sensor, right? So I got this on Amazon. I highly recommend it. You can get yours there as well. I'll leave the link here in the description. And if you like this video, please subscribe, give your thumbs up, and I see you in the next one.